My name is Eddie C, and welcome to My Positive Podcast. I'll bring you positive stories of people from all walks of life, because everyone has a story to tell. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to MPP, My Positive Podcast, and I'm your host, Eddie C, and this is episode number 37. Well, first of all, thanks to all my listeners who continue to support the show, also the Patreons who have added to my show and support me. And you can also become a patron, of course, by going to www.mypositivepodcast.com. It'll be well appreciated. So my guest on the show for this particular episode is very much into music, and she's also very much into the music that's inside oneself. So if you're kind of curious about what's going to happen and how her story is, just sit back, relax, and stay positive. My name is Eddie C, and you're listening to My Positive Podcast. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my guest for this episode is a very lovely lady. I had a chance of meeting at the conservatory in Ghent in Belgium, and we hit it off right away with our musical ideas and approaches about how to work with some of the students. And she's also doing a sort of a musical therapy, which she'll tell you more about as well as we go along into this episode. Please welcome my next guest, Miss Chrystel Wautier. How are you doing?
Hello, everybody. I am doing fine. Thank you, Eddie. I'm also with my dog, Milo. You cannot see it. I hope it's not going to bark on some cats.
No. You can't see it. This is only audio. But, so can you tell my listeners a little bit about yourself, your background, where you were, originally from, and how you got involved in the music as a singer?
Yeah, I am Chrystel Wautier. I have 43 years old, and I'm coming from the French part of Belgium. My father is a preacher, so I was immediately swimming in gospel music since I was a kid. And then I just learned, like, in a normal way, school when I was a kid, piano, classical piano, then voila. At the end, I was also doing an art school, drawing, but music was always in my mind. And then I realized that I could actually go to the jazz section of the conservatory. I discovered this wonderful music. Also, I love the aspect of non being famous to live out of the music, and it was fine for me because becoming a star was not something for me, I think. So I find in the jazz music a world of expression, improvisation, and that's how I become a jazz singer, let's say. And also lately, I've been exploring my voice in different ways, more energetic ways and therapeutical ways. And I discovered after 40 years, like, how powerful this tool is to know yourself even better, and not only know yourself, but somehow heal yourself also, and maybe help heal the others. So, voila.
Would you like to elaborate a little bit more about that?
About
the therapy, the music, yeah.
My path was to start it 10 years ago. I was not feeling that good in my life, and I've been told about this tomatis therapy, which is a doctor who made the relation between your inner ear and how traumas in your life make your frequency closed. So it impacts your life, and it impacts your character and the relation you have with others. And I did this therapy with the ear, listening basically to Mozart music, to reopen, remuscle all the stuff in your ear. And already I find it super miraculous how the impact could be on you, on your social life, on your happiness also. So I dig, and so I use energetic therapy. I discover how you can really use the energy in you and around you. There are different sorts of energies. That the voice is very powerful, and then you can. Well, it can be confronting, but somehow there is everything you need in you. Only you don't know that most of the time, And it's a bit like we have this beautiful light in us, but somehow during the life we put some stones and some walls around it. And I decided to really commit it to myself, trying to get rid of those stones and break those walls that that makes us in prison somehow. And voila, it's quite difficult to explain it, but that's what it comes now.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know that you have a very good rapport with your students, because I was there at the conservatory to get like a master class and talk to some of the students that you have there. You have some fantastic young talent
yes.
At the school. And are you applying these techniques along with the regular lessons with your students?
Actually started this year in really frame work with them. I offered, like, okay, you guys, I just be trained to do this thing, thérapie psycho-vocale et corporelle in French. It's quite difficult to translate it in English, but it's like body-mind vocal approach of the voice. Would you like to try it? So they said yes. And then they're responding quite in a super positive way, because they are coming in the school to become singers. So they expect to learn songs and technique and harmony information, but going actually to listening to the sound of your voice, and also going in the deep emotions sometimes that you don't want to go in, was a surprise for them.
Do you find, sorry to interrupt me, but do you find that a lot of what I see on a lot of students nowadays is that they're very talented in their technical approach, and they're energetic as far as wanting to sing, but like you said, there's like the hidden talent, which is that inner soul, is very difficult to get out of them. And a lot of that has to do with some of the basic things, Well, my motto, what I said to them, I said, being late does not exist, as long as, because you take those moments away from what you should be doing, at what you could be doing to improve yourself at that moment,
Exactly. But for instance, being late is part of a fear. I think it's the unconscious fear. So when they have this kind of problems, all those technique of hiding somehow, sabotage, those kind of, I don't know. Well, before I couldn't, I didn't have any solution, but now I'm using this problematic in my work.
Okay.
So let's see what's happening. You are already late. You are always late in the class. So how come? Let's talk about it. Oh, maybe it's because of blah blah blah. Okay, you come with something. Let's see what's happening in your body when we are talking about that. And immediately the body can give you some answer. And then we use the voice to go deep there. And then your voice is changing completely, because we learn in life to sing like we are in life. It means we have a lot of traumatic stuff happening. We don't dare to say it. We act like everything is fine and everything's okay. So we are able to talk. We are able to resonate. We are able to have a quite normal life. But those layers behind, when you really want to go there, the body never lies. And then the voice starts to give some information. Maybe it breaks sometimes. Maybe it changes into some kind of children voice, or it fades away. Then, or on some notes, I cannot breathe. And then, okay, what's happening in there? No, don't try to sound good. Try to go where the voice is actually not that good to see what's happening. And then you have a lot of stuff who comes and they are super amazed to meet this aspect of them. I actually also I am also always amazed to work like that, because every session is different, every people is different. It's, I understand that somehow I lie to myself. I understand that this part of me is not what I want. And then we use the voice to really free those layers, free those hard feelings, and weirdly you end a session with more light. Wow, well, it's great.
Well, I had the pleasure of in honor of being part of one of your sessions. You came to visit me, and we went through one of the sessions, and it was quite amazing. And I'm still feeling the effects of it. And I want to thank you for that, because it was an eye opener for me. The crazy thing is, I've been busy with it subconsciously, but I couldn't place where I was doing it, and it was really nice to kind of mirror off of your guidance at that moment to get there. And a lot of things have changed within a short period of time around me, which have gotten me to also approach things differently with my vocal approach. And I'm actually using it myself to help my other students as well. So it's, I want to thank you for that very much, because like I said, it's really been nice. And, for my listeners out there, you should get in contact with her. You can, via my show, contact me, and I will bring you in contact with her, because especially if you're living in Antwerp or the Benelux area, and you would really like to explore a little bit more about this sort of, I want to say, inner vocal process to free yourself. It's very, very interesting, and it's very deep, and but I told Chrystel, I refer to it as a powerful hidden beauty within yourself to discover. And so you should really, if you get a chance, you should look more into that. And I will post the link and on the page of My Positive Podcast, so you'll be able to get in contact with her. Chrystel, I want to ask you some other things. I know we spoke a lot about music and singing, but I know there are some other things in your life which are, very important to you, because life isn't only music. It's a lot of other things as well. So what are some of the other things you like to share with my audience about yourself?
Oh, wow. What a question. I don't know, just more and more in my life, I still love music so much. I realized that I needed to sing. I needed to sing because I needed to find this way of finding something or work on something on me. But now that I have done some work, my life is going in plenty of diverse direction. And especially my garden, I have to say. I am working a lot on my garden, planting seeds, vegetables, learning a lot about old ways of how to work with nature, not against nature, because like we have a lot of stuff. So I'm really it's super important, this climate. That's how you say it. The change.
The climate, yeah.
Yeah.
The climate change, yes.
Yes. And I am. I have a big place. I have a big prairie, and actually, I would like to develop a way of link music and nature also. I think somehow. I hope I could build a space to have workshops, and with everything that is linked, like healthy stuff, sound, just singing, feeling good about yourself. I mean, for me, that's the only thing that matters for the moment. Life is actually very simple at the end, Also in music, I do the parallel with music because I learned jazz. So jazz, you can say, is one of the most complex music to learn. Improvisation, all those notes, all those tensions, and your mental mind is really working, and you feed your brain with a lot of stuff. But then at the end, I'm like, please give me just a simple melody, and
Right.
and I think that everything in my life is going way more simple now, like that. So I appreciate simple stuff, planting a seed, eating your own salad, your own tomato, listening to some simple music, playing piano, walking with my dogs. I mean, for me, that's what I love in my life for the moment.
Okay. All right. So, but the fundamental elements of just the basics of life, I guess
Yes.
that plays a big role in your life at this moment. Simplicity, and and you said that jazz is like sort of complicated, but actually, it's the most least complicated style of music, I personally think, because of the fact that it is based on improvising.
Yeah.
And as and so if you look at it from that perspective, it's actually a lot easier than a standard type of or style of music where there the
Yes.
basic rules.
It's an approach totally different, but when you think of it, improvisation is related to a process in your body. It's like speaking. When we speak, we improvise. We don't know what we're going to say just before we say it.
Exactly.
So improvisation, I think, is a big word that a lot of people are scared of. But if you have the tools, when you learn a new language, you start with a few words. You try to develop the idea with a few words, and then you add some vocabulary, you add some practice. But I think I was attracted to that music because I needed to, look for something that was a bit unconscious also.
Right.
And now that I find some answers, I don't need that much, I like to do it, but it's different. The relation that I have with all of that is different. It's less in the head, it's more in the heart. And I could really enjoy 3 notes or just a sound, like we did some mantras.
Right.
20 years ago, I was like, what are they doing? They are other notes, But I get it now, like the pleasure of just the vibration of the sound, to be in the moment. I realized like all the experience that I had leads to what I am now, what I have found now, So yeah. It's interesting. I try to include that also with my students, say, you don't play your life when you sing, some distance. It's not that important if you do a mistake. And the important is that you feel good with you,
That's very important. Well, not only that, even the sound of silence has its own magic of music in it. because you hear your inner heart at that moment that is projecting what's going on in your business. Even when you're sitting in the quietest moment, you can, there's, especially if you're into music as your natural thing, it's the little melodies and tones and memories are opened up, because music is, it's like, I see it like as a postcard, because every time you hear a song, it's like a musical postcard that takes you back to a particular moment that you've experienced. And music you're hearing for the first time opens up new experiences for you. And all of those things project back to how you accept it from within, because that's also a thing that I think a lot of people sometimes have a problem of acceptance of something which is slightly different than maybe what they do. You don't have to necessarily, does not necessarily have to be your thing, but the idea that you're willing to open yourself to absorb and taste it for what it has to offer, it can also be a big influence on how you approach whatever you're doing that day in or later on in your life,
Totally. Yeah, exactly. Well said. I think like we sing like we are, and what is stuck in the music is also sometimes what is stuck in your life. Yeah. So and music and open your mind into music will help you in your life, but working also in your life with different process will help you with the music. It's a tool.
Absolutely.
It's a tool.
Yeah. It's a very powerful tool. It's a very powerful tool. And I don't really think that we realize how powerful music is for us, because I could not imagine a world without music. I just couldn't imagine that. And I mean, even somebody that's deaf, for example, who can't hear the vibrations that they feel, that has its musical content as well.
Yes, exactly.
So, and a person that can't see, that music can also be the hidden eyes that they don't have anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, music is the color of the world, but with your ear, for your ears, of course. And I think like music also a song. Okay, it's a melody, you have text, you have a groove, it's a format, so it is also sometimes a bit stuck for our understanding. And I was really working and listening to music in those cases, I would say. But now what I'm interested in is exactly the sound and the vibration. Also, with the energetic work that I've discovered, everything is energy. Everything is energy. Everything, all the frequencies are mean something. And you have a vibration rate. That's how you say it.
Yeah, a vibration rate. Yeah,
and then it's influence your life. So and you attract also the same kind of frequency you are in. So if something is not good in your life, you somehow co-create it. Okay. So if you take your part in it, you work on your frequency, you want to put love in it, but to free also and to say goodbye to what you don't want in your life, then your vibration rate is raised. Voila. And then your sound is more open when you sing. And then you attract different people.
Right.
You will have choice you don't even imagine that you are aware of. So maybe I have to go today at that place. I don't know why, but I'm gonna go. And then you meet a new person in your life or whatever. And I am looking now more to this energy, to this vibration, and really try to connect with my body to, okay, this situation, what does it make me feel? Okay, this sound, there is something good or something wrong also. Sometimes I hear stuff and I'm like, oh, before I was not aware of that, but I am now. And life is magic. It's like, my God, but I didn't know that everything was there. But how stuck I was with my thoughts and everything. Now I see, I hear stuff that I couldn't before. And life is just magical. And you can co-create everything, you
Listen,
know.
it's it's a state of
It's a
mind.
state
It's
of
a state of
mind,
mind.
but you need to understand. Though you need to understand how it works, because a lot of people also are selling, you know, develop personal development, attraction law. It is working somehow, but okay, it's not. You need to understand how this works. You know, so. A lot of people also ask me. You ask me, why don't you have a website for your practice? I'm not sure about it. You know, I think I want to keep that very precious, very mouth to ear to because it's something you need to take care of those process. You need to take care of those practice. It's not something I want to sell. You know, it's too precious. You know, so but yeah,
That's a beautiful thing, and I have it with my rhythm awareness approach as well. It's not something that I
yes.
make a big issue about, but I try to approach it when I'm one-on-one basis or with a small group. You know.
Exactly.
Well, listen, we're getting
Exactly.
near the end of the show. I've got one last question for you because we've only got about
Yes.
a good 5 minutes left. But I would like to ask
Okay.
you, uh, what would you advise the youth, because you're working with young people and with the music? What would be the main thing that you would like to leave from yourself to them if they didn't learn anything else from you during the time that they're taking lessons from you?
First, I think I would say to them, trust yourself. I think that if we would learn how to estimate ourselves, the world would be so much better. Um, I really wish to spread this truth of we are beautiful, we are divine, we have everything that we need ourselves, you know, and and it's and it's not something outside of you who will help you. It's only you, you know. Don't find outside of you stuff to fill yourself. Everything's there. You need to get rid of some stuff. I think that's main. I think it's the main thing. You have light, you have possibilities, you have power, have you have all those stuff. You just need to go for it, and then you will treat yourself good, and you will treat the other good also, because loving people is something that is not coming like that. You need to work on your wounds, not to love in a correct way, you know, in a healthy way. That's really actually for me that's the main thing. Trust yourself, value yourself also, and the world's going to be better, I think. And use the music to find that. But I mean, yeah, that's what I try to center all my lessons. um, I don't feel like a teacher is like a master. You need to learn from me. No, I'm always starting with the student. What do you think? What is the and try to help them to find this power, this beautiful light. Light is the word also. I don't know. I'm super enthusiastic when I hope I am clear when I say all those stuff because yeah, it resumes. I think those ideas of love, just love. It is love. You know, love yourself.
And that inner love that you have for yourself, that's where it starts.
Ah,
When you
oui.
have that, you're able to project it out to others.
It starts there.
Well, listen, I have had a wonderful time having you on
totally.
this episode with me, and I'm
That's
sure my listeners
amazing.
will enjoy this as well. And I want to thank you so much for coming on, and keep sharing that music and sharing those good vibes with others.
I hope.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
This is MPP, and I'm Eddie C. Well, I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Chrystel. I certainly did. Now, let's just talk about music inside you. If you look at everything in existence, it has some form of musical aspects, whether it's rhythm, whether it's the sound of birds chirping, whether the way you walk, the way you speak even, has a musical rendition in itself. And let's look at the whole hip-hop industry, for example, how popular that's become. It's all based on music and based on the music inside you. So on those words, here's my quote. Music inside you. Facing your fears that may haunt you inside your mind. Opening up to your inner voice and the song it wants you to bring. Listening to the sound of your heart and the rhythm of your soul. A divine peace that can be felt and heard all around. That joyful music with the essence of pure love from within and its reflection to those around you. Well, that's about it for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. But before I go, I'd like to thank my guest, Chrystel Wautier, for coming on the show and sharing a bit about her life and her music. And remember, you can close your eyes, but you can never close out the music inside you. Until next time, you can find me on all platforms like Spotify, Android, and Apple. On Facebook, look for My Positive Podcast, and my website is mypositivepodcast.com. You can also contact me via my website or Facebook. A very special thanks to my technical producer, Iswan. This show is a production by Antwerp Podcast Service. My name is Eddie C., and this was MPP, My Positive Podcast. Tune in next time and stay positive.